Hello, everyone. Welcome to Elevating Your Life. And we are going to be elevated today. I am just thrilled to share with you my amazing guest today. We have with us Marzcia Techau. She is a Master of Science in Biology, a speaker, author, spiritual teacher, clairvoyant, counselor, healer, Reiki master, and somatic experience practitioner, working with Peter Levine's somatic experience method. For the past 20 years, Marzcia has worked with a blend of scientific and spiritual understandings of life. A part of her master thesis was a healing study of plants at the University of Copenhagen. Later, she worked as a research assistant at a study of energy healing effects on cancer survivors at the University of Southern Denmark. She has worked as a medium and has been taking clients for 22 years. In recent years, she has worked as a teacher of healing and clairvoyance, as a writer, and has been giving talks to a broad audience. In her teachings, she talks as well as in her books. She emphasizes the relationship between natural sciences and the spiritual world by applying new knowledge and scientific research in her dissemination of healing, human development, and spiritual practice. She is the author of this amazing book, Your Soul, Your Life. Oh, Marzcia, I'm so excited to have you join us today. Thank
Thank you. I'm
you.
honored to be here and thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, I loved your book so much, so much. So I'm just going to dive in with, a few things in your book. For example, I mean, you share so much great information about our soul.
Yeah.
And you actually say in the book that our soul is both our innermost self and part of the divine, of all
Yeah.
souls in the world. Tell us about that. Share that with us.
Yeah. It's as I see it, it's like our soul. I have two ways I talking about it. I have our soul is like the soul travel. The soul travels in different lives, different incarnations, and sometimes also it has experiences of life without a body, but it's still alive. It could be alive in another planet, or it could be alive as an angel. So your soul has a lot of experience. It travels around to gather information, wisdom, and it travels around to, empower the society, the world that it's entering. So in that way, your soul always wants to do good, and it always wants to have new experiences, evolve and develop. And that means when your soul is incarnated in your body in this life, it's actually full of wisdom. It's full of skills and resources that you have been practicing, that you have been very good at before. So what you're good at in this life, you have been good at for many past lives as well. So you never come here without any skills. You come here with a back, some kind of back knowledge that you can use in this life. And in that way, our soul has this divine capacity. It's a part of the divine. Um, and it also has all those experiences that you can use in this life. So in that way, when you connect with your soul, you also enter a life force within yourself where you can master your life the best possible way. And what I also find interesting is that our soul, it's like when you do something that makes you feel happy, you're connected with your soul. So in that way, your soul tries to, put you in a good way. So when you do something that's a calling and you find it meaningful, it's because you actually are connected with your call, your inner calling. And when you give that focus and nurture that, you get even more, happy or energized.
Yeah.
And instead of many other things where you should be very strict, or you should really concentrate in a very hard way, the soul and the divine try to, help you to live your life in a good way, where you are happy in your life, where you explore life, where you contribute to the life with love and wisdom, and clarity. And in that way, when you are connected with yourself, you express the divine part of you. And it can, normally I said the divine part of you can have feet on the ground. And actually, when your soul says it's time to be born again, it's really neat. It's like it really loves to be born. It's just our survival mechanisms in our body that's a bit different because our soul is internal. It's like it cannot die. So it can live. It really wishes to live. Our body can die. So our body has a survival mechanism that's trying to get us to survive as good as possible. But the body in contact with our soul is actually a body that would like to live, not just survive, but also live and be a part of life, like expressing life, like being happy or energetic or anything like that. So that's what I see with the soul. The soul is connected. If you say like, you are a part of your parents. So you are a part of your father, you are a part of your mother. Your genes has that connection. And then there is a little mixed where when your mother's genes and your father's genes are mixed and you are created as a Fiji, no, as a little child, then you have your own part that's really only you. And for me, it's like when that happens, when the egg cell and the sperm is meeting up, there's a little light there, and for me, it's where the soul enter your physical life together and start to work together with the cells and give life force to the cells, and you are creating your own life in that way. So when this happens, this contact between your body and your soul, then you can start to express the soul in your everyday life. And for a human being, it's important to live in accordance with our soul and not so much caught up in the trauma, adaptions, what you can have that inhibits your soul. It's very important to look at what empower your soul to be present within your everyday life, because in that way, the divine will be an interactive part of everything you do. And you will create a, 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 a way where the divine can actually enter the world and start to heal the world or inspire the world. So it's like if you're a part of your parents, and if you say it that way, God is the divine, and you are a part of the divine because you are a child of God, then you are connected. As you're connected with your parents, you're connected with the divine. There is no difference in that way. We come from the same source.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah, that's the short
now,
version.
Marzcia, with the fact that, this soul comes into this, I call it the physical vehicle, my car of this lifetime's highway.
Yeah.
When that soul comes in, so it's bringing with it all this intelligence
Yes.
and learnings. Is there something we can do as this human body, having that to just connect well with that intelligence and bring that intelligence and see it? Is there something we can do to help us do that?
Yeah, that there's really many directions. Again, as one of the thing is when there is your sensory system sense the surroundings and sense often also other people's consciousness. So your sensory system, when it's connected with your soul, you are much more connected with yourself. So it's also about noticing what makes you happy, what's your inner core of yourself. So when you have that focus, it's like your sensory system is seeking the inner self of you and becomes that. Your sensory system is a part of the body. So when your sensory system senses the, you know, the consciousness of your soul, it becomes the consciousness of the soul. And that means that the peacefulness within your soul can interact with your sensory system, and that will interact with your body, that will come into a peaceful state of mind. So in that way, this connection between body and soul is connected with your sensory system that makes this connection. And that's again when you have the focus on trying to sense your own inner peace or sense what makes you happy or sense the feeling of your inner calling and what you're good at, or what makes a big, meaningful experience for you, then you're often connected with your soul. Also, when exchanging, just sitting in a conversation with a loved one, or inspiring conversations like that we have now, is an exchange of soul. So when you feel this, it's like a being within yourself where you can sense this is true, this is a clarity within you. This contributes with much more than just you. There you're connected with your soul, or just walking in nature, feeling this deep level of being together with nature. There you're connected with your soul. So you're connected with your soul every minute, every second of your life. Because if you weren't, normally when we have near-death experiences, you have one called clinical death, and then some experience some kinds of presence of God or angels. They sense they are in some kind of a tunnel with light and it's peaceful. And they have some kind of exchange with the divine. And they come into this understanding that's not their time yet. And as soon as they enter the body starts to wake up. And that means, for me, it means that we are a spiritual being in contact with the divine and the spiritual world all the time, even though we are in a physical body. But we also have a life force within our soul. So when the soul enters the body again from clinical death, it starts to live again. And in that way, when you also give uh, focus about your life force, you also stimulate your soul energy. So that could be physical, it could be emotionally, it could be mental. Everything you do that makes you feel energized or happy or peaceful or content is also connected with your soul. So it's like finding out what strengthens your soul and what inhibits your soul. And where I can see we normally have problems with inhibiting our soul is from what we have learned from childhood. Because when we are a child, from we are fetus till we are around 7 years old, we are not able to regulate our own nervous system. We regulate it in accordance to our surroundings and our parents. So if your parents are not regulated very well, your nervous system will not be that. So you cannot come into this peaceful feeling of being yourself connected with your soul. You're much more aware in an alarm or what happens out there instead of being in the contact with your inner core. So if you have problems with that, it's good to make some healing processes on these inner child processes or traumas or learnings, because they will somehow pull you away from the inner peace within yourself. And your sensory system will be focusing outside yourself instead of being focused in yourself according to yourself. So you will be not having a center within yourself. You're not being aligned with yourself. So inner child work could help you to, come back in alignment with yourself. So that could be trauma from there. You could have trauma from past lives. So even though your soul has no trauma, it can, when it enters the physical realm, have some, unfinished business.
Mhm.
And when you enter that, you have to deal with that unfinished business, which again can be a trauma that somehow could have the soul essence within it. The trauma can hold the soul, or it can push out the soul so it cannot enter the body. So sometimes it's like you also have to work with past life traumas. And then we have the epigenetic trauma from our ancestors and our lineage. And in that way, we have three angles. We have trauma from this life, trauma from past lives, and we can also have transferred, generational transferred traumas that can inhibit our soul contact with the body. It could be mental, it could be like beliefs that you're not good enough, you're not belonging. It could be feeling of being wrong, or you're not really fitting in, or that you're not capable of anything. It could be physical, like your body is tense and you cannot really express, the movement of your body. So the inhibit of the soul access could be from many angles. So what you can do is both find out what makes you feel in contact with your soul. And that could be quietness. It could be walking in nature. It could be singing. It definitely has to do with something that makes you both happy, calm, and content. When you are there, you're connected with your soul. And then also notice, okay, why, why, why aren't you in that state of mind or emotional state or physical state all the time? What inhibits that? And then you can start to do something about it. Because sometimes it's like small things. It can be you are busy, 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 but if you start to just sit down with a cup of tea and enjoy,
Mhm.
just looking into a flame of candlelight or looking at a picture or listening to music, you start to open up your sensory system, you start to relax, you start to take in, and at that moment, your soul is connected with yourself again. You're connected with the soul. The soul is there all the time. It's you that's not there. You are not connected with the soul. The soul is connected with you. So in that way, you're not connected with yourself.
Ah,
And that's important that we are that if you're going to master to be in our life the best possible way.
yes. Oh, I love that. That is so exciting and just so wonderful to realize. Oh my gosh.
In that way, it's simple actually. You just have to notice two things. What's work and what's don't work.
Yeah,
Okay, the ones that doesn't work, what is it? Is it past life? Is it present life? Is it from
yeah,
the generational thing?
it's
Okay, I can work
simple.
with that.
I have a quick question. With our soul, how it's, the different lives, can it, if we're going from body to body, can there be times where we're out in between a while being an angel or maybe even being in an animal's body or anything different? How does
If
that work?
where I look for knowledge about that is some of the work from Michael Newton and also from Michael Newton Institute. One of my former students, she works very much in connection with Michael Newton's Institute. And what they found out there is his theory is that there is this enormous divine consciousness, and our soul is like small droplets of that. And then there is a droplet, and it grows, it evolves, different lives, and some of those are only human lives. It's like that's the travel that soul, have to do, and then it comes back to the big consciousness. But it has evolved, so it's like it's getting bigger and bigger, and then it goes back to the big pool of consciousness. It's like enriching the pool of consciousness. And then some of the other soul droplets is like, oh, I'm very curious. I have to be human and angel and animals and, ET and other galaxies. And maybe I was also nobody at all. I'm just a part of the wind. So there is some of those droplets that are very, like going out to examine everything and explore and 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 they of course have other kinds of experiences as well. And then there are some that's only angels. You're not, it could be that's the angel droplets. They're there. But there are some that are traveling in different dimension and have different experiences because we have when I work with my students, it's clear when I have different kinds of directions I teach, and one of them is angel healing, and angel healing healers. Some of them have really, really strong angel energy. They are so clear and so gentle and so empathic. That's like sometimes you cannot understand how they have been able to be on Earth with that sensory system and that way of in such a gentle nursing way without people really noticing it. It's like they are really strong in the energy. And many of those comes to the angel courses. And then I have other kinds. I have and they definitely have lives where they have experienced something like angels. Like it could be not, maybe not a big angel like an archangel. I don't think that, but I think angels also have different kinds of experiences. So some of them have had experiences in past life where they were an angel or a being that's much like an angel. So they have a clarity within their soul essence that's unconditional love in such an enormous amount that is like when they connect to the angel dimension and the angels start to work through them as a healer, it's so amazing to look at and sense. So they definitely have something else than just human. And then I also teach in something I call spiritual healing. It's from spiritual spiritist churches. It's like you go into a deeper level of trance. So it's like not a full trance, but it's a light trance, but you disappear as yourself and then the spirit world enter. Some of that is more a more human thing. It's like when I sense the energy, it's like it's a thicker thing. It's like it creates a substance where the spirit can manifest much more clearly and come and help the healing of the client. So it's two different kinds. It's like very, very light, extremely unconditional love and gentle, and then and it's so interesting. In
So
that way, it's so interesting to look at different people have different aspects in their soul and they can use it in different ways, but everybody has their unique spot. They have, we all of us has our unique thing that we contribute with in the world, and our soul really love to be, you know, being here,
that is so
contributing,
fantastic.
doing better than last time.
So fantastic. And a quick question. You've written that our nervous system is an essential part of the contact between body and soul.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, please.
It's, of course, I'm a little nerdy about that because I'm a biologist as well, and I really think that our body is amazing. But what I find is interesting is that, of course, I'm highly sensitive myself, and I really sense other people's emotions and thoughts and their body tensions very much. And when I started to find out that we have something called mirror neurons, where we mirror other people's nervous system, or we sense the surroundings. Is it a safe surrounding? If it's safe, we can relax. If it's not safe, we get in constant arousal of alarm. And everything is that is how our nervous system, it's like our automatic nervous system. We can't think about it. It happens all the time. We had it when we were walking in the jungle, uh, trying to find out if there was a tiger or something that's going to eat us, or if someone was going to be good towards us. So it's the way we function. It's like how the little kid function as well, sensing is this safe or is it not safe, and so in that way, we have this nervous systems that always try to be in contact with emotions or what can we call it, surroundings. But when we start to use that nervous system to sense our soul, we can sense the peacefulness in our soul. So we do the same thing, but we toward our sensory system sense ourselves. I use the contact to the spirit world like the near-death tunnel of light. I use this contact. It's like you have Reiki, so it's like the Reiki, a ray of Reiki light. And in that, I just ask for the presence of my guardian angel, and then I sense it around me. So my sensory system sends my guardian angel, which makes me safe. And as soon as I get safe, I start to relax. And when I relax, I'm in contact with myself and my soul again. So because I'm safe, I start to relax and be myself. And then I'm back. So I use this contact between using my sensory system, sensing my soul, or sensing surroundings that makes me feel safe so I can sense myself again.
I love that. Oh, I love that, Marzcia. Oh my goodness. We have about 2 minutes left in the show.
Oh, yeah.
Please share with everyone your website, how they can get a hold of you and learn more. This is so great.
Super. Thank you. Yeah. I have this website. It's called Marzcia.com. So it's Marzcia, MRRZCIA.com. So there I have a lot of English information stuff. I have meditation, free meditations, healing meditation, where you can connect with spirit world, you connect with healing, inner child healing, epigenetic healing with ancestors. There's a lot of things, training your nervous system so you can connect with yourself, or disconnect a little with chaotic feelings from outside and other people. So there's a lot of training there. And of course, you can buy Your Soul, Your Life is just released in the States right now, the 1st of January, and around the world. It was, yeah, you can buy it everywhere. So that's quite easy. So I have a spiritual mastery site, Spiritual Mastery with Marzcia Techau on Facebook, where I every Saturday have a little something from Marzcia. It could be a podcast, it could be an healing meditation, it could be something else, just to help you to strengthen the spiritual practice, or enlighten yourself into, no, could that be interesting, or something like this. Just a little, elevating people a little to get into a more clear contact with themselves and their soul, enlightenment. And it's time. We are ready. And when we are ready, the spirit world is ready to help us. And it's just our own responsibility, and it's a joyfulness. It's joyful.
Oh, Marzcia, thank you so much. You are a gift to all of us and inspiring. And I am so thrilled and so honored, and
Thank you.
heartfelt thank you for all that you're doing for others and the difference you're making in lives. Oh,
Thank
everyone,
you.
you have to check out Your Soul, Your Life. And Marzcia, I'm just so happy to be able to share you with my audiences and have
Thank you.
pleasure of meeting you.
It's a very good self-healing book with a lot of exercises and a lot of healing meditation. So it's like,
Yes.
just get started. It's
Oh,
time.
yes. Goodbye, everyone. Love, hugs, and blessings. Marzcia, love, hugs, and
Yeah.
blessings.
And bye, listeners, as well. Thank you for listening.